Certifiable Studios has a title I'm interested in telling you about. Who Goes There? This is for 3 to 6 players, ages 14 and up, and should take you about 120 minutes to play. Who Goes There is a cooperative game of growing paranoia. At the beginning of the game, all players are human and there is no reason not to trust each other completely. But as the temperature drops and mistakes are made, players start doubting everything and everyone around them. You must build, trade, and upgrade to prepare yourselves for the Arctic terrain. Rabid dog attacks, crazed madmen, and most importantly, the alien entity that is now loose in the camp. Everything you build and upgrade has one purpose: keeping you alive and human. During the entire game, you will want to trade with other players and help each other to build stronger weapons and better equipment, while also passing food and medkits around. Although, make sure that you trust them, since trade is a huge opportunity for this thing. Staying inside may keep you from freezing to death, but it won't help you or your fellow humans win. The only way to secure victory is by venturing out of the camp. The problem is, being away from camp is the #1 way to come across this thing, leaving you vulnerable and exposed to infection. Whether fixing the boiler, repairing the door, or fighting the frigid temperatures outside, you will all need one another to survive. But trust is a hard thing to come by when you must be wary of who goes there. I almost got a little goosebumps there from reading that from the publisher there. So I had never heard of Certifiable Studios before. This is a first for me, this title. And this is what you are probably more familiar with as The Thing, especially the John Carpenter take of The Thing. A lot closer to the original 1938 John Campbell Jr. story, novella that he wrote. There are some marked differences between the two, and I'm really interested if the game gets into that, delves into that, especially since I already own a copy of The Thing board game. So why am I interested in this? They're both based on the same story. Now, there was a few things when I was researching this that I came across that really kind of jumped out at me. So let me go over a few of those. As I've said before, and if you follow these videos, it's no surprise, you should know by now that I do enjoy a good social deduction, hidden role, hidden agenda style of gaming. It's fun sitting at the table and feeling the tension and anxiety build up with the other players, the levels of distrust, how to get them to believe you, whether you're telling the truth or lying, how to get them to believe you. I like these games. So that automatically is drawing me to it. But what is different about this from The Thing that still makes me want this on my radar and hopefully one day on my table? I like the balance that this is specifically calling out between needing to go outside into the frigid, cold Arctic in order to get things fixed, in order to find things and get equipment that's out there that you're going to need, while staying inside where you feel a bit safer. So that's something that I'm seeing an interest in, and I'm feeling a bit of a difference because the other game doesn't really capture that feeling as much. I think so. That's a little bit new to what is at its base looking familiar. There seems to be a more delicate need to reach a balance between paranoia and teamwork than I found in the other game. And that's something that is definitely drawing my attention to this, because that seems to be a little bit deeper. It seems to be getting deeper into that social deduction aspect of the game. There is a second edition to this game out, and from what most individuals I've come across have said, it's really important to get the second edition, or if you have the first edition, to get your hands on the updated errata facts kind of thing that they came out for that. And it's really going to streamline a lot of things about the game. So they saw their problem. They fixed it with a second edition, but if you have the first edition, you don't need the second. Here's something to update it. I like that from a company. They're not going out of their way to force first edition owners to get a second edition. So as a company, they got a little kudos from me for that. Now, there are things in the original novella that are different from the movie, and that's what the other game is based on, the movie. So some of the things are like in the original novella, this thing from outer space did have a true form, a default form. It was humanoid, had blue skin, 3 very red eyes that cut through the soul, and it seemed to be telepathic with any other of its kind, that it, infected into someone else. And that was no aspect in the movie or in the other game. And also, in the original novella that this is based on, the transformations are fast, seamless. It never gets into detail, but like this, you don't find things like blood and bones and hair, clothing that's torn up. You don't find any remains like that at all. There's absolutely nothing. And and it does seem to happen extremely fast. So I want to see how those are going to be incorporated into this version of the game, or this game based on the original version of the story. The game ends off getting into the helicopter, and hopefully none of those things got aboard and you're all human. This way the humans can win. Otherwise, they're going to get out to the world and pretty much infect the entire planet in days? Yeah, that sounds about right. So being a fan of the movie, being familiar with the original story, this version of it as a board game completely has me by the beard hairs. It's tugging on me, and I know that I definitely want to get this down to the table and experience this and eventually showcase it and show it off to everyone. So it's on my radar, and yes, even though I have a very similar game, there are enough differences, it appears, that make me want to get this and think that it's, not going to be a duplicate. So why don't you go find out some more information on Certifiable Studios? Who goes there?